Looking at gold, XAU USD. Now, 4,400 was the zone that I identified, and it paid multiple times on short-term trade plans, right? And now it has failed. So we need to target where it's going. Of course, we always want to know that all-time high anchored VWAP is. It's currently at, that's the red line, 47.86. Now, if I turn on the key levels on pricing, let me turn it on, you're going to see that every 100-point step should provide some support. 4,300, yes, a lot of strong momentum on the daily. Look at this, guys, red. So I see a little bounce here, 4,200 and 4,100. Now, of all these levels, I want to point something out to you. Turn on the matrix because it puts these levels in for you. You don't have to build them. You see this wick where we had this within one day, price moved 400 points and down and 400 points back up. I believe that it's going to be very smart to have skunk orders, meaning having orders sitting right around 4,100 to 4,115 to try to catch kind of a flash wick down. Can you imagine if you did that there? How much money did you make? Look at this. If you had one there, it ran all the way up to 4,900. That's 800 points or dollars times your leverage and profit. And it's market structure, folks. Market structure will provide support. So I would have a skunk order at 4,100. I'll certainly be buying there. And then after that bounces, if we get a strong move down, I'll be break even or in the money. And then I'll definitely be buying the confluence of 4,000 and about 4,025 where this other anchored VWAP exists from a longer term run. You can see this green line here that we've back measured. So 4,000 and 4,100 are going to be very interesting. I'm not saying that there's not going to be support at 4,300 and 4,200 because they certainly are key psychological support. But man, what a discount at 4,100 and 4,000. When and if we see it, folks. Now, let's get into silver, XAG, USD. Let me turn this back off for you, because I want to talk about levels that I've been talking about. All-time high anchored VWAP is now 79.20. You always got to know that number. And 71, retested it once, come back up, and it failed the second time. So below that, I said 64, and then look at this, guys, 54. Might be with momentum. We might see that as a flash wick like this, but we're going to have to break through kind of the 63 to 65 range to get there. And we still have one more shift in momentum. And if that, which would increase our velocity. So guys, skunk order, 54 all day. You can see the market structure from the hard run, bounce, and then we push through, tap twice before we push through it. That should be really strong support. I would heavily recommend buying in around $55. You can see it's 54.97, kind of in the middle of that. Have a skunk order. Skunk order means an order that stinks way low, right? So you can catch a wick. Because if it taps that and then runs right back up to 71, you're going to be very happy. So keep an eye on 64, but 54 to 55 would be an amazing buy by time the end of the year rolls around or a year from now. So I like those levels. Platinum paid on our trade plan, shorter term, about 100, 150 points multiple times before it collapsed. Because remember, every time it touches a level, guys, it touches a level, it will eventually break. And on the downside, we look at market structure similar to that wick that we saw in gold. Market support down around 1,700 would be the next area of interest for me to try to buy and foster that into a swing. We could target the all-time high anchor VWAP at 2,050 and trail it upward where you're locking in 50 points, 100 points per step. So keep an eye on right around 1,700. If I can get my number right. There we go, guys. So it'd be the full width of that would be 1685 to 1715 in XPT USD Platinum. Palladium fell right through our level. Surprisingly for this one, guys, it tapped off it multiple times and then failed strongly, kind of like platinum did, but it really truly didn't touch 1300 before it collapsed. The next level in Palladium, unfortunately, what I'm seeing here is about 1,000 to 1,100. So because 1,000 is such a nice whole round psychological number and a lot of buyers will buy that, I'm going to hold off and not buy until we get into a thousand, probably somewhere between 1,000 and 1,050. And then of course we can target market structure here for a 200-point gain, or optimistically right back up to the all-time high anchored VWAP. So I'm not interested in Palladium until we hit 1,000, and there I'll be consider buying. Copper, folks. Let's talk about copper. It's coming into, again, strong thesis. I mean, experts are saying this is going to be $10 to $12. So we're buying discounts right now. I still like the 605 to 610 range right here. And then at a greater discount, this previous all-time high anchored VWAP at 590. So keep an eye on those zones. But we should have, it should actually believe me, it should have support coming in between 590, $6, 605, and 610. So it's gonna take a lot to break those levels because you can see it's setting higher highs and higher lows in that same uptrend because copper is strong. If we get down in here, we're going to be outside that two standard deviation, and we should return back on trend when the dollar cools off.